Welcome back to another exciting episode of Can It Take a K26, the show where we take a variety of blasters and see if they can be upgraded with a K26 spring. I am your host, Captain Xavier, and I am currently on vacation. I'm traveling for a pair of Ren fairs and to see family and friends back in Idaho and Eastern Washington. So I got these filmed ahead of time, and hopefully they turn out well. So today we're going to be looking at a pair of Iron Man arm blasters that I managed to pick up, and hopefully they will have some potential because I always like adding blasters to my armor. So our first contestant is this neat arm-mounted thing. I'm sure it has a fancy name that I couldn't be bothered to look up. It straps directly to your wrist. Of course, the strap is too small for my big arms, but that is how it works. You could also strap it to just about anything you wanted, and making larger straps would not be difficult. It is not the fanciest of mechanisms. It fires, you have to flip the barrels forward, and it is just a matter of flipping them forward. So if you have them attached, they will bounce around. But you flip them forward, and then you hit this, and it fires both at once. And it actually fires them a lot better than you would expect, given the size and nature of this thing. It then primes when you push it back. So you flip it open, you fire it, you reload it, you close it again and it primes, and then you flip it forward and you fire it again. So it actually is a neat concept, and I kind of like the idea of wrist mounting this onto my gear just to have another weird little thing attached to my armor somewhere where you flip it out and slam it and it shoots up at some random angle because it doesn't lock into place very well. So it's gimmicky and fun, and I want to see if there's any mod potential at all. Specifically, can it take a K26? Well, the first thing that I am impressed by is the size of the plunger tube. I was expecting it to be a lot smaller, but it actually goes a little bit of ways to explaining why it has as much power as it does. I mean, it obviously doesn't have a lot of power, but it does have some. And it is definitely due to the size of this plunger tube. It has a padded plunger head, and there is in fact a screw underneath it, but if you just put the screwdriver through the middle of it, you can get to it, and it comes off. So, big plunger tube. We're definitely going to cut this down as much as humanly possible. K26 will fit in the plunger tube because it's actually massive given the size of the blaster. And the catch mechanism can hold the K26, but the priming mechanism couldn't get it back to catch. So it primes when you close it. There's an arm that levers back, and unfortunately it's an offset plunger rod, as in many of the top slide blasters, and that plunger rod is bending when you prime it so that it's not getting back enough to catch. So I'm sure you could probably find a spring that might be able to upgrade it, or if you made it direct prime, it would definitely work, but that would destroy the whole point and gimmick of the blaster, and I'm not willing to get rid of the prime on close to get a little bit of extra power, because the spring that's in there was actually fairly powerful, and it's only gets as poor performance as it does because it's firing two at once. But a blaster like this is going to be your last-ditch effort, close-range, shotgun, two-shot blaster. And I actually really, really like it, and I would like to get it painted up and added to my gear, or possibly even not painted up and just attached to the right arm of my body armor, because I think that could be kind of neat. Anyway, let me know what you think of it, and we'll move on to the next contestant. Our next contestant is this Iron Man arm blaster, which also has some neat gimmicks, namely the armor that shoots out, and unfortunately this was really made for small children because the armor part fits my wrist and forearm, but I can't even toy with the idea of getting my hand in there, which is just annoying. I can get 3 fingers in, which just doesn't work, which is tragic. I might be able to find some way to expand it, but given the whole design of it, I doubt it. But for those of you who have small children who might enjoy something like this, this one has a little blaster that's just attached on the top, and it just is direct prime. Darts! And it fires both at once. I wasn't expecting that. It is, in fact, at least, I'm not sure if it's supposed to, but it did. it's supposed to be smart AR. So it fires one and then the other, and it is attached on there. The larger of the triggers here extends the armor, and the smaller one is the actual firing mechanism. This could be used ambidextrously. I mean, it could go on either arm, and you'd either have an under blaster or an over blaster, depending on which arm you put it on. But let's see if this thing can take a K26. Well, that is a magnificently tiny little system, and obviously not going to fit K26. But once again, if you really wanted to, you could probably, not as cleanly as the Captain America shield, but you could probably integrate a better plunger tube into this without too much fuss. Alright, well, tragically that is also a no. Tiny plunger tube and built for tiny hands. So this one's not a whole lot of good to me, but if you have a small child, you might be interested in possibly integrating a larger plunger tube in there, but I don't know that it would be easy or worth it. So let's recap. Alright, for those of you just tuning in, or who skipped to the end to see the results, that was a no to the Iron Man wrist-mounted flip-out shotgun, and that was a no for the Iron Man armor deploying blaster. This one because the priming mechanism couldn't handle it, the plunger tube could, but the priming mech was bending, and this one because the plunger tube is just entirely too small. So, there you have it. This one I think I will in fact do something with, just because I really like the idea of a flip-out, slamming, double-barreled thing, and I really like the whole that it primes as you close it, and then flips out and fires. I think that's a really neat design. So, look forward to that. Let me know if you have any suggestions, comments, concerns, ideas, requests. Put them in the comment section below, and as always, thank you for watching.